Thank you, Chair Fink. Just one point, I would ask that we have administration prepare a letter of appreciation and thanks to go out to those folks who are leaving these two respective boards to acknowledge Ron Anval, Barb Berklin, and George Rogich for their commitment and service to both the Board of Adjustments and the Planning Commission.
And to that extent, I would like to tell you that the Planning Department did provide them with plaques as well, but I think a letter from this board is absolutely necessary, and I did take these folks to lunch on the last planning day and charged it to you. With that said, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Mr. Chair, with the exception of the other item that I said that would be on my agenda today, that then we move down to committee, and it would be my agenda, would be to determine whether or not this board is interested in doing a small committee to look into at least some recommendations for next week, or whether you want to wait until next week. You decide.
I just got done a while ago saying that my drop dead time was quarter after, and we're at 17 minutes after right now there. So I will ask this board, is there anyone that wants to go a few minutes longer? If there's one person that would like to take a break, we will be recessing for lunch. And I'm asking right now, is anybody willing to go another 5 minutes? Or not? Anyone not willing to go another till 23 after? Hearing none, I will make an exception to my rule. And Commissioner Nelson.
Mr. Chair, if it is the desire of the chair to have a subcommittee to do some of this legwork and perhaps seek letters from any individuals who are interested in serving as the interim administrator, then I guess I would look to the chair to appoint that subcommittee as you have appointed all other committees, and task that subcommittee to bring something back to Monday. I really believe that we have to have a process in place. There's no question that we are going to have a tremendous hole within our budgeting for St. Louis County with the loss of Dana Fry. Our loss is going to be the gain of some third world country, I'm sure, but and that's important as well. But I think that it's important that we move this process forward as expeditiously as possible, knowing that our budget process starts again very soon. So, Mr. Chair, I would look to you to appoint a committee, and would suggest that you task them with receiving those letters and bringing something back to the board on Monday. And I would suggest that you be at least one of those members.
Thank you, Commissioner Nelson. I've been brainstorming this since early this morning, since we first started talking about subcommittees, and I'm not quite sure where to go. I'll make a suggestion. Two things that are standing in our way to get people to get their requests in. I mean, I know right now, I'll just say it right up front, as former Sheriff Gary Waller has said that he might be interested.
Mr. Chair, I think we should respect the confidentiality of people who've expressed any interest whatsoever in the position.
I take that back.
Mr. Chair, perhaps,
he didn't do that.
Mr. Chair, perhaps
I was lying.
Perhaps the issue really has created what we've done is we've created a real challenge here at this particular point, and maybe the right thing to do is to say to you, thank you very much for allowing us to have a workshop next week and determine all those things at that workshop where we can. By that time, the board will not be surprised. We will, and likely the rules can be set between now and then from the chair, and as to what we will talk about and what we won't talk about, and just if you need a committee, then discuss the committee then.
I would support Commissioner Fink's. I think we can wait till Monday.
Commissioner Rucker, and we are right at
Okay, I'll try to be quick. I guess I think there'd be great value to our having a committee between now and next Monday to meet, to invite our other electeds, as well as the chair, the past chair, and the vice chair to meet to perhaps review or request and then review a letter of interest and or supportive materials from those who have expressed an interest in serving as an interim administrator. And perhaps that group, between now and then, that group could take a look at that information and ascertain whether or not they can come forward with any kind of recommendation to us at the board workshop on Monday the 14th. And the reason I sense that there's the timeliness would be good right now is just because of the matter that Administrator Fry is going to be, if you know his calendar in the coming month there, he is going to be gone for a good 2.5 weeks, coming up very shortly, I think departing this Wednesday and not coming back until about 2.5 weeks or some, and then he's going to be here for about 4 days. And so I really think there's some urgency to address this issue now, and any days wasted we're going to pay for somewhere down the line. I would make that a directive motion.
Directive motion, is there support? Yes, is support. And with that, any discussion? Oh, sorry, the chair? Yeah, he made the motion that it be the chair.
Chair, past chair, and vice chair. And with an invitation to the other elected members, other elected department heads.
I said, well, with that plan in mind, I think we could be assured that there'll be no women on that subcommittee.
She takes it umbrage.
I don't see gender when I look into the room myself, but and I would only advise that the group fully respect the confidentiality of those who come forward with letters of interest.
And I apologize for a slip up there. With that, all in favor of said motion, signify by the sign aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All in favor, signify by the aye.
Mr. Chair, just one quick thing. What we really would need, yeah, I know it is, you should have Paul make sure that he writes this thing down so that that committee knows exactly what Commissioner Rocker said, because to make sure that there's no misinterpretation of what happens when we get in committee.
All those would be asking Steve what he said.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.